Hello dear students and welcome to Sri Jendra Rank Zone classes. I am your English facilitator Amit Ajmani. In this particular session, we'll be just continuing the topic of vocabulary, and in this vocabulary session today we'll be discussing about connotations. First of all, let us try to understand what connotation is. Connotation is defined as the suggesting of a meaning by a word apart from the thing it explicitly names or describes. Not much of an idea. From this definition, most of you must not have got an idea about what connotation is. First of all, then let us try to relate that whatever word we are using while writing or speaking or reading anywhere, all the words have different meanings. One is their literal meaning, that is their dictionary meaning. One is their symbolic meaning. One is the meaning it conveys depending upon the usage. And one is the feeling it creates. So let us try to relate each and everything one by one. The first important thing is the strict dictionary definition of any word. The definition of a word as per what the dictionary is telling us, that is called its denotation. But the feelings or emotions associated with that particular word, this is described as its connotations. So the dictionary meaning is altogether related to the dictionary, but the feeling that we have on listening or reading or hearing that word, that is called its connotation. Again, let us try to get deeper by taking this example that both fat and chubby, as per the dictionary, they have the same meaning. That means they have a common denotation, which is the dictionary meaning, because both these words mean being overweight. But when we use these two words, the meaning they convey, they are altogether different, because most people would rather be called chubby. They would prefer calling themselves chubby because chubby has more positive feeling attached to it, positive connotation, and less negative connotations than the word fat does. So if you say somebody that he's chubbing, the actual feeling, the actual relative meaning conveying is that he is cute, right? But if you say someone that he is fat, he or she is fat, now this is not taken as a compliment, it is taken as a comment. Because fat, it simply means you are pointing out someone that he or she is fat. Even though these two words fat and chubby, they have the same common denotation, that is being overweight. So this is what connotations are. I hope now you are able to get exactly what connotation is. Let us try to once again take one more example and try to explain and understand better. Another example is home and house. Once again, they are the words which are considered to be synonyms because they have a common denotation. Dictionary wise, both these words mean a building or a place which is meant for human habitation. A building or a place where humans will live, that is a home or a house. But there is a lot of difference. When we speak these two words, there are different feelings that arise in our heart. If we use the word home, this home connotes warmth, family, love, affection, togetherness. This is what we feel when we talk about, when we listen the word home. But if we just use the word house, the connotation is just a structure of cement and concrete and bricks, which is meant for inhabitation. That's it. So this is what exactly connotations are. Now, after taking these two examples, try to relate what connotations are. These are the words which have common denotation, but they convey different meanings with different feelings associated with them. Now, these connotations are very important for us. Why? Because these connotations give us an indication of the emotions or associations that are surrounded with a particular word. A word's connotations can be either positive or negative, which will depend on the context in which it is used. And of course, it also depends on the reader or the hearer, his mood, his present state of mind, his attitude, right? So many things. Maybe there are certain times when we don't mean that way, but there are misunderstandings because the other person has taken the word meaning in a negative connotation. And that is why the study of connotation becomes so important, because when we are talking about communication, when we are talking about talking to someone, when we are talking about vocabulary, we need to know what and where exactly to use the words. We need to know what are the various connotations attached to those words, so that we are cautious before using them. Correct? Of course, there are some occasions or times when you want to use a word deliberately which carries a negative connotation. You are doing it on purpose. Why you are doing it for purpose? Because you want to convey the same meaning in a negative sense. Because you want the other person to realize or to feel bad about it. But there are so many times when you want to ensure, you want to make sure that you do not mistakenly use a word that carries a negative or a misleading connotation, because the whole purpose of your communication will go wrong, right? Just taking another example to highlight this particular point of importance of connotations. If we are describing a woman who is thin, different words may be used. If we use scrawny, then it carries a negative connotation. So while we are describing a woman who is thin, we will use word slender rather than scrawny, because this slender carries a positive connotation. So now, just taking care of these words, we can have an effective communication, and we want to fulfill our purpose the way we want the other person to take the things. That can be only solved when you know the different connotations. So that is why knowing the connotations is very important. Now here are certain words which are used. They are used in a negative tone or undertone, and they are used in a positive tone. Denotations are same, right? But the way, the part where they are used and the purpose for which they are used, that needs to be very much, we need to be aware with it. Let us try to relate one by one. The first word is verbose. Now the verbose has a negative undertone. Verbose means containing more words than necessary. That is verbose, right? So if a person is actually using more words than necessary, if we call him verbose, that means we are criticizing him, because it conveys a negative undertone. But the same way, if we want to appreciate for his high vocabulary, then we use the word eloquent. Eloquent is vividly or movingly expressive, because now he is expressing himself in a very vivid manner, detailed manner. So saying someone to be eloquent is a positive compliment. Saying someone to be verbose is a criticism. Correct? Second example, stench and aroma. Both are smell, but stench refers to a bad odor or bad smell, bad scent. Whereas when we talk about aroma, it is a pleasant or savory smell. So obviously, if we are using the word stench, it is a negative undertone. And if we say the word aroma, it creates in us a feeling of pleasantness. You can't say what a nice stench. If you want to convey it's a nice smell, you can't use the word stench for it, because nice is contradictory with stench. Okay. Next example is cheap. Now, cheap is a person who hates to spend money, whereas thrifty is a person who is very careful with money. Cheap relates to a miser. Miser is also a person who hates to spend money, but miser is used in a negative sense. Cheap and miser are both negative connotations, but if the same thing we want to convey using the word thrifty, it is taken to be in a positive sense, that he is thrifty. That means he is a person who is careful with the money. This is appreciation, that he knows where to spend money and he knows where not to. Okay. Next comparison, let us see young and youthful. Young is a person who is of a young age. Youthful is a person who may not be young but has all the good qualities of youth. So young at times is used in a negative to neutral way. Young is neutral. He is quite young. Okay. But if I say he is quite young for this particular work, so now I am just expressing my suspicion that whether he will be able to complete the job to our satisfaction or not. But if we say that he is so youthful, that means he is having all the good qualities. So this is a positive connotation. But rather than using this two, if I use the word childish, now childish is a person who behaves like a child, and this is taken in a negative way. Childish. Childish is that the behavior is immature. This is what exactly is conveyed when we say that don't act childishly. So we are actually criticizing for that childish behavior, for that immature behavior that is not expected by that person, from that person. Okay. Similarly, when we use these three words, proud, confident, and conceited. Proud is to have self-respect about something. Confident is to believe in your own abilities, whereas conceited is to be too proud of your abilities. That means you are viewing yourself too highly. It means you have got a superiority complex about yourself. Correct? So proud is a neutral connotation, whereas confident is a positive one, because confidence is a good quality. But if we say the word conceited, then in that case it is associated with a negative connotation. Getting my point? That these are the differences with the usage of the words describing a one particular thing. Let's take one more example. Headstrong and determined. Now, headstrong means willful and determined, not easily restrained, impatient when given advice or suggestions. So, headstrong because of getting this word used here, impatient, while giving some advice or suggestion, it conveys a negative connotation. But when we call someone determined, in a positive sense, it is always used because this shows that the person is possessing or displaying a firm resolve. He is determined, he is resolved, he is resolute. These all are positive connotations. Clear? Next is scrawny and slender. Scrawny is exceptionally thin and meager in body or size, whereas slender is gracefully thin. Now, just try to relate. Both are thin. Both the words are used to describe someone who is thin, but scrawny is exceptionally thin, conveying a negative connotation. Whereas slender is a positive connotation, it's thin but graceful thin. This is the difference between the words, the usage. Next is again crippled and disabled. When we talk about crippled, crippled means flawed or imperfect. This is a negative word used for someone that he is crippled. That means we are doubting his capabilities. We are considering him to be imperfect, not perfect for some particular work. We use this word when we want to convey that he is not fit to do something because he is crippled. But same way, if we use the word disabled, now this conveys a neutral connotation. Disabled means he is impaired or he is limited by a physical, mental, cognitive or developmental condition. So he is disabled. One thing is being crippled, that is conveying a negative connotation, and being disabled, one or the same thing, but it conveys a positive connotation. Got it? Now, the words that we have just studied, when you see them in the dictionary, they have got similar denotations. But we have just seen, we have just related and understood that each one of these have a different connotation. And there are so many words like these. The more you study about them, the better, the enhanced, the improved version will come. And you are going to just enhance your vocabulary and your usage, and you will be, when you are using these words, you will be very much cautious as to in which situation what exactly you are using. Okay, I've said so many other words. Let us try to relate those a few more words. Let us take it in the form of this exercise. In this exercise, in the first question, we have been asked to categorize the words from each group of words and phrases into positive, negative, or neutral. So let us see out of these words which of them conveys a positive connotation, which of them conveys a negative, and which of them conveys a neutral connotation. First case, gaze, look steadily, and stare. These three have got same denotations, same meanings as per the dictionary. But when we talk about the word gaze, gaze gives a positive connotation. So gaze word is positive. Looking steadily is neutral. We are looking at something steadily, continuously, it's neutral. But when we use the word stare, now this is conveying a negative connotation, that when we use the word, why are you staring at me? That means you are actually pinpointing someone for this particular act. Okay. Next, brainwash, persuade, influence one way or the another. Now, in this, persuade conveys a positive connotation. It's an ability to persuade someone, to convince someone to do something. Influencing one way or the another is taken to be a neutral way. But when we talk about brainwash, now this is a negative connotation. Why? Because brainwashing means that actually you are making or forcing someone to do something against his will, right? Let us see the third example. Delayed, not on time, tardy. Now, delayed conveys a positive connotation. He is delayed. That means it was beyond his own means. He was helpless. He was delayed by certain circumstances which were not under his control. He is not on time. It is a neutral connotation. But he is tardy. It conveys that he is always late for something. So this is a negative connotation. Next, somewhat interested, nosy and curious. Being curious about certain thing, that shows your inquisitive nature, taken to be a positive connotation. You are somewhat interested in something, it's a neutral connotation, but you are nosy. Now this is a negative connotation. Why? Because being nosy means interference. It is trespassing into somebody's personal matters. That is the meaning it conveys. I'm not writing these whole words out here. I hope you will be able to relate if I'm writing this minus sign and positive sign and n, and the explanation that I am giving, right? So let us continue with that only. Next is lazily, without haste, and leisurely. If you are doing something leisurely, it is a positive connotation it is conveying. Without haste, you are doing something, this is neutral, but lazily is in a negative sense because it actually blames you for your being lazy and not doing the work. So this is a negative connotation. Clear? Next, ask on someone, demand, request. Requesting something makes it positive. You are asking something of someone, this is a neutral thing. But you are demanding something. Now, this shows maybe your dominance, depending upon the expression, depending upon the way it has been used. So, it is at times taken to be a negative connotation. Clear? Next, gathering, a large group, and mob. Now, when we talk about gathering, it is a positive connotation. It's a big gathering, right? A large group is neutral, but a mob is ill-defined, not well-defined word, so it is normally taken to be in a negative connotation. The people who are just wandering about without any particular purpose, they constitute a mob. Fine. Let us see the next. Discuss with others, debate, argue. Now, debating is a quality, right? If you are debating, that means you are putting forth your viewpoint. This is taken to be positive. If you are discussing with others, this is a neutral thing, this is a normal discussion. But arguing is obviously a negative connotation, because whenever somebody says why are you arguing, that means he is actually trying to convey that he is upset about your giving the explanation about something which is not required. So arguing is a negative connotation. Clear? Next, observe, watch, and spy. Observation is a positive connotation. You are watching something, this is neutral. But you are spying, this is a negative connotation. It conveys a negative meaning, that you are spying on someone, you are stealthily doing something. That is a negative connotation. Next is assertive, firmly confident, and pushy. Assertive is a quality, so it is taken to be in positive connotation. Firmly confident is positive to neutral. Confidence, once again, a capability, quality, ability. But being pushy is negative. Being pushy means you push others with your views, with your thoughts, with your actions. So this is taken to be a negative connotation. So all these that we have discussed, they are all having same denotations, the same dictionary meanings, but we just observed how they convey different meanings altogether. Let us try to relate another example in the form of a question. What exactly is asked from us? In each of the following sentence, the italicized word has a fairly neutral connotation. So, for each of these, we have to give two synonyms. Synonyms means the words with similar denotations, and what exactly is required is we need to use one with a negative connotation and the other with a positive connotation. So I hope you understood what exactly the question is asking you to do. There is a particular word in italics in all these sentences. We, out of our vocabulary, we have to give two synonyms. One should be the positive connotation and another should be negative. Let us try to relate. I recognized the familiar smell of my mother's cooking. Now smell here is used in a neutral sense. We have to give the two synonyms. So we have just studied in the table above. The two synonyms are stench and aroma. Of course, aroma taken in a positive connotation and stench taken in a negative connotation. Clear? Let us come to the next second part. Siddharth's interest in painting has turned into a hobby. We have to give two synonyms of hobby. Hobby is same as that of diversion, same as that of interest. But when we are using these two words, I hope that you are all of you are able to relate that interest is being shown in a positive connotation and diversion is distraction from normal routine, normal daily life. So that is conveying a negative connotation. Come to the next. Vasco was an adventurous traveler. Now, adventurous here is used as in a neutral sense, neutral to positive. We have to give two synonyms. We are giving these synonyms as risky as well as courageous. Now, courageous shows the courage, the ability, the quality taken to be in positive connotation, but risky is a doubtful condition. He is taking the risk. So, this is taken to be in a negative connotation. Next, my old laptop has finally died. Now, old, once again, we have used this word so many times till now. Synonyms are time worn, elderly, mature. In these, elderly and mature, they are taken to be in a positive connotation, but time worn, it has been worn due to the time, due to the efflux of time, it is a negative connotation it conveys. Next, Sneha was mildly intimidated by Gautam's assertive behavior. Assertive is used in a neutral sense, right? And the synonyms are pushy and confident. Confidence is a quality used in the positive connotation, and pushy is a negative connotation. Clear? For attempting these kind of questions, you need to have a good vocabulary, which of course you are going to build up step by step. We cannot expect to be done it one day. I know that there will be many students after taking this particular question, they must be wondering, sir, how we are going to attempt, how we are going to think about these synonyms. There are so many times we don't know even the synonym, even one single, and you are talking about two, and both of them should convey a different meaning, one positive and one negative. Don't worry. This is the reason why we are conducting these classes, because it is a step by step process. It's just the starting. You have a long way to go, so many activities to do, so many things. Fine, and we'll be doing together, don't worry. Let us see the next question now. This is a good question. Read each of the following sentences. We will read it, okay? Decide from the context whether the speaker is showing approval or disapproval of the topic. So first of all, we ourselves have to relate the context. Accordingly, we will decide whether it is the approval or the disapproval by the speaker, and then after that we need to identify the word that most suits the context. That means we have to use positive as well as negative connotations depending upon the context, in which context this is being said. Let us try to relate. With the help of this example, you will be able to understand better. First, this refrigerator is expensive or overpriced. Out of these two, there is a slash, we have to choose one. Now, expensive is in a neutral sense, but overpriced is the disapproval. This means you are not actually convinced with the price tag on that particular refrigerator. Clear? This is overpriced means this is higher than what it actually should have been. But Soham did not mind paying extra because of the numerous useful features it has. Now, the main thing we need to relate it, Sohan did not mind paying extra. That means he knows that this is more than what is actually the cost, but he is still paying that extra cost because of the numerous useful features. So here the refrigerator is expensive or overpriced. We'll prefer using overpriced because we want a negative connotation that of course it is overpriced. But still Soham is paying extra. He is willing to buy the refrigerator because of the useful features. Okay, let us see next. Shiv Tomar and his cronies, employees, have controlled the management in this company for over 14 years now. I wish Arindam Chatterjee is elected president this time. So Shiv Tomar and his cronies, employees have controlled the management. Here we need to convey the message that Shiv Tomar and his associates, his people, they have controlled the management for over 14 years. Now we wish that somebody else is elected president this time. So we will use cronies rather than using the word employees because that conveys association, the associates. Okay, let us see the next. Hopefully I won't have to share office space with Mrs. Singh. Hopefully the person is hoping and he is happy not to share the office space with Mrs. Singh. Why? She can be very curious or nosy. Now at this particular point, when we try to relate why he is not willing to share, because she can be curious or nosy. Curious is a positive connotation, nosy is a negative connotation. So here we are actually referring to the person, the speaker is referring to the negative quality of Mrs. Singh, and that is why he doesn't want to share. That is why he's happy not sharing office space with Mrs. Singh. So our correct answer is nosy. Okay, next. Please ask Rohit to turn down the volume. It is difficult for me to concentrate with all that noise or music. Music has a positive tone to it, but because the speaker is having difficulty in concentrating, He is asking to turn down the volume because he is actually a bit getting irritated because of that volume, high volume, and that is why he is treating it as a noise right now. So the correct option we'll choose from these is noise. Clear? Next, Mr. Nair had better be wary of his new neighbor. Somebody is advising Mr. Nair or wants Mr. Nair to be wary, to be cautious of his new neighbor, Miss Banerjee. Why? She is a crafty, clever one. Now, because we want him to be wary of his new neighbor, that is why we are talking about the negative quality of Miss Banerjee, and crafty is the word which conveys this negative connotation. Clever is neutral to positive. It is the quality of a person that he is quite clever in his work. Crafty is manipulative. So that is why he should be wary of him, of her. Next, I had great respect for your brother who is rather reserved or antisocial and dignified. Now we are talking about the respect. We are talking about being dignified. So in that case, being reserved is a positive connotation rather than using antisocial, because antisocial is against society. So if he is against society, nobody is going to respect him. If he is against society, how can he be dignified? So the correct option is reserved. Clear? Let us see the next one. My friend can't stand her mother-in-law who is very thrifty or miserly. She has a lot of money but refuses to help others. We have already studied that thrifty is a person who actually is very careful while spending money, whereas miserly is a negative connotation. Now, read the sentence again. What exactly is being mentioned here? My friend can't stand her mother-in-law. So if you cannot stand someone, if you cannot tolerate the presence of somebody, it's simply because of some negative quality. So obviously we'll be using the word miserly here. She is having a lot of money but refuses to help others. This is in a negative thing. Okay. Next, the new saleswoman tends to be enthusiastic or pushy. While dealing with customers, she is scaring them away. Enthusiastic is a positive trait. Pushy is a negative trait. Now, the new saleswoman tends to be enthusiastic or pushy while dealing with customers. Both the words were correct, but only as per their denotations. When we relate the ending of this sentence that she is scaring them, she is scaring the customers, obviously that is in a negative quality she is having. So we will be using the word pushy. Clear? So this is a bit of the exercise and this is a bit of the detail of connotations. I hope that you all must have got a good, better, perfect idea of what connotations are and how important is a connotation. Having the knowledge of connotations is very important, because at times even we do not realize, if we are not aware of the actual meanings and the connotations the word is conveying, we may be using wrong words in our day-to-day communication, probably arising negative feelings when we do not actually mean to create them, right? Or we are not able to actually communicate ourselves when we are talking and trying to make the other person realize about his wrongdoing, about his lacking. So knowing the connotations plays a very, very, very vital role. Clear? So this is all about the connotations. We are winding up with our session, today's session here only. And what exactly is your role now? You have to go through, you have to read, you have to relate, you have to understand and try to remember as many words as possible. And from now onwards, please make sure that whichever word you go through, try to relate whether it is creating a positive feeling, positive attitude in you, or a negative feeling in you. Accordingly, make sure to remember that okay, yes, these words, when used like this way, they convey a positive connotation, and rather than using these, if we use different words, then they convey a different connotation. Step by step, you will be able to learn. Step by step, you'll be able to relate. Step by step, you'll be able to remember, and one time will come when you will be able to use these all things in your practical day-to-day communication with others. So let's hope that day comes soon, and let's hope that we work together for actually enhancing our vocabulary. So we'll meet you in the next session with a different topic. Till then, take care of yourself, have a great time, and thank you so much. Have a good time. Bye everyone.